honest thoughts, great plugin. Not a good UI, but great image that I got out of it. So it has happened. Dehancer reached out and said, yo, you want to check out our, they didn't say yo, you want to check out our plugin? And I was like, yeah, sure, because I know of Dehancer. I've used free trials of Dehancer with, different emails, and I liked it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I want to check it out. Yeah, so I was like, okay, let's just put together a quick shoot. And for that shoot, I specifically said to my friend, no story, just vibes. And we shot the cliche of golden hour clips and the classic action film trope. The protagonist sees dead wife smiling and laughing and enjoying life, and then he gets the motivation to continue his revenge rampage and stuff. That cliche has been filled now, so thank you. If you haven't seen that video, I highly encourage you to check it out, because we're going to be taking a look at the clips from that. I'm going to put a link down in the description or right here, and without further ado, let's cue the intro.
Patiently waiting on my dreams to come true.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Zero Gravity Design Studio. Like I said, Dehancer reached out and said, you want to review the plugin? I was like, yeah, sure. And now this is not a sponsored video from them, but I do get to keep the plugin with a lifetime license, so that's the whole transparency thing there. But they don't get to have any say in this production, or they don't get to see the whole video before it's published. So be aware of that. What we're going to be doing is I'm just going to show you a couple of clips, my favorite clips actually, from the whole thing, and we're just going to go through everything together, and I'm just going to show you a couple of examples, and then at the end I'm going to give you a couple of thoughts that I have, a couple of improvements that needs to be made, because there are some that needs to be made. But before we get to the whole thing, let's get the gear question out of the way, because I know it's going to come. Everything has been shot on the Sony ZV-E10 on S-Log2 profile with ITU 709 color profile. Everything is also on the kit lens, the 16 to 50mm f3.5 to 5.6, and I don't have an ND, so I had to stop down quite a bit. And everything has been shot using just natural light, and I didn't go in blind to the whole thing. There was a pretty extensive pre-production from my side and from the model side, because we decided on the the whole look, the makeup, the wardrobe and everything. I did quite extensive test shoots and location scouting, and when I use sun tracker AR to when's the sun gonna be there and blah blah. And I'm gonna make a whole video about it, and it's gonna come in a couple of weeks, so be on the lookout for that. As you might know, I am a frequent user of Cineprint 16, now 35, and Film Vision 2. That just having Dehancer doesn't mean I'm gonna just completely forget about them. I think they're all tools, and right tool is needed for the right story. And if a story comes where I think Cineprint looks just better, or if Film Vision looks better, I'm going to use them. If Dehancer looks better, I'm going to use Dehancer. So, just because I have Dehancer doesn't mean I'm going to not use them at all. And if you do wonder how Dehancer compares to Cineprint 16 or Film Vision, I'm also planning to make a video about that. If you want to see that, go comment down below so we can make that happen faster. And without further ado, let's get to Davinci Resolve. This was my end right now, so we're just gonna go to this. So I've done a basic note tree here, which in Dehancer's own site it says that too, like, do you go correct your stuff before CST, and then after CST, if you have like masks on and stuff like that, you have it there, and then you have your grain and halation and film effects, and then you have Dehancer as the last note, because I also tried to do it like Dehancer here as a negative, and then grading here, and then Dehancer print, but that really didn't work out, and I've done extensive tests on that, and if you want to see a video about that, I might be able to show you later on. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, we're just going to go, this is like CST, same thing, all shot in S-Log2 with ITU 709 profile. So we have the HDR wheels. I mapped the HDR wheels, thanks Blaine, shout out Blaine Westrop for this. I've done color space here, and then gamma on the S-Log2, so this is more of a real kind of an exposure thing here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull the highlights down, maybe like, I don't know, minus 0.8 or something like that. Yeah, that seems to be cool. I am clipping there, but there's the flare, it's okay. And I'm gonna put the light up actually just a tiny little bit like that. Yes, amazing. So we're gonna go to white balance, we're gonna go to vector scopes, and I'm just gonna try to, you know, balance this whole thing. So we're just gonna make it a bit cooler, something like this maybe, because I want to add a bit warmth in the print. So I'm gonna go a bit, something like this. Yeah, that's pretty cool. A bit more green, just a tiny little bit, something like this. Yeah, this seems to be okay. Like I said, I wanna have here the perfect, you know, the perfect image in quotes, and I'm gonna break it afterwards. So I'm gonna do a bit of a grading. I mean, creative stuff here. It's gonna add a bit of a teal and, you know, orange, the classic stuff here. It does make a difference, as you can see here, as you can see there. So it's pretty cool. So this is our starting point, right? This is not the best clip, I know, to make an example out of, because we lose a bit of contrast because of flaring, but we have other clips, so this is really good for this thing, Dehancer. I always open actually the grain and halation beforehand, and I'm going to show you what that is, because it does make a difference to the whole thing. I can't tell you with words what it is. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. This just looks better. For grain, I love grain finer than Brad Pitt, which I love this joke. But I'm using a 35mm ISO 500 grain. I actually like 65mm grain better, but in YouTube, the compression, I don't know what it's gonna look like in YouTube. I saw the other video, didn't look that amazing, so that was pretty, that's a shame, but I like, for my use case scenario, 35mm ISO 500 as the best one, and I go a little bit down, I mean 20 there. As far as the halation goes, no ramjet is more halation, but I don't like a lot, like, I like halation, and halation helps with skin tones too a lot, but I don't like super halation, like just take over the whole image, and that, I mean, with 16mm and 8mm, that just happens, as you can see right now. So I'm just gonna go with 35mm Super 35. I use bloom with, you know, profile 35mm Super 35, same thing. I don't use film damage or breath or gate weave or overscan, which overscan is pretty cool actually. You can do stuff like this, and I use it in my the original video too. I really do enjoy that. It does look cool. And as far as the vignette goes, I do use a vignette. I'm gonna show you like this, and just gonna make the feather 0. So I use kind of a vignette like this. This comes like this, and I don't really enjoy that. I just make it like this shape, and size I want to make it 100, and then I use not 100% feather, but around 75% feather is pretty cool for me. And I don't want the vignette to be overpowering, so I just use, you know, something like this. So this is basically the grain and halation node, and I'm just gonna go to the Dehancer. So this is the Dehancer that you're getting, you know, with nothing. This is it. All right, let's get to the Dehancer now. I'm just gonna go to my waveforms because I like that. So for this clip, I'm really loving Ektachrome right now because of two things. First of all, Euphoria, been amazing, and second of all, Blaine's video, like Ektachrome's beautiful. That video, Ektachrome is beautiful. So I don't know if you know, but Ektachrome is a color positive thing. So if you like push it, it's gonna get brighter, and you know, if you pull it, if it pushes, it's gonna get, you know, darker, and pull it, it's gonna get brighter. But I'm just gonna leave it there. So film develop, there are a lot of film profiles. Okay, let's just go through that. There are a lot of film profiles here, a lot. Cinestill I think is great for photography and stuff, but it's basically Vision 3. Like I said, Fuji Eterna I think it's cool. Real 500D is also cool, but I'm not really interested in the other stuff. Like I said, I'm interested in Ektachrome and a lot of the Vision 3 stuff, and maybe a black and white stuff, but you know, that's basically that. We have this look right now. Now before I do anything else, I just go to my print always and choose my Kodak print film, because it's important. And I do actually my a lot of my contrast adjustments in the print tab and not in the, you know, negative itself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna enable the film developer here, and then give it a, you know, color boost around like 50, 55, 50 is good. I'm just gonna open film compression, which just, you know, compressed highlights, the cool highlight roll off of film, which is this fella right here. And I'm gonna actually, because this is a pretty, you know, highlight heavy clip, I'm just gonna Yeah, it's gonna 100 in that. And I was gonna change the white point, and as you can see in my scopes what it's doing, change my white point, and I'm gonna take it down too, because this, like I said, it's a pretty highlight heavy clip with the flare and stuff, so that's pretty there. Tonal range does this. I don't really use that. Not for this clip anyway, so it's gonna stay there. The expand is where my black point is, so I can make it higher or make it lower, so I can add contrast here too. And white point, same thing with that. But like I said, even though I don't add a lot of contrast here, I want to do the basic contrast adding here, so maybe like, I don't know, 3 is good. If I did 3 there, let's go 9.7. Yeah, that looks to be good. There's a bit of a difference, so I like that. I'm pretty okay with that. And at the end, like I said, like everyone knows, I don't know if you know, negative is going to go to print. Now what I'm going to do here, I might just warm it a bit. I might leave it, I might cool it a bit. But Ektachrome is a bit warm, I guess. I don't know, it just looks warm in here, so I'm going like it was like this. And it has the cool, you know, these warmths in here, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Could be just a halation too, but yeah. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not going to warm it. We're going to do it in another clip. I'm just going to put the exposure a bit up. I don't like 249 and stuff. I like always round them up, so something like this. Contrast, I'm just gonna up the contrast a bit, maybe like, yeah, something like that looks cool. 20, let's just make it 20. Color density, you know how dense the colors are. Now actually here I'm just gonna do something else. I'm just gonna take the contrast saturation down a little bit, and maybe density down a little bit too. This does look cool. But I think I went in the clip with the real video like this, but I mean, I can see myself adding a bit of density, color density right here, maybe like 30. That looks to be cool. So, like, I don't think this is a out of the box just works kind of a plugin. I think you have to do some work on it. And we took this from this to this. Pretty easy. Love the clip. Love the plugin. Let's go to the other clip. Okay, this is probably one of my favorite clips there too. Like, this look is just amazing. This clip was shot like this, just a CSD. Did some HDR reels, put some exposure down, highlights down, light down, and shadows down, add a bit more contrast too. It needed a bit more magenta and a bit more blues, a bit cold. So I just added that. And added some color there, which I think it does a lot. As you can see, shadows a bit more teal, midtones a bit more orange, and highlights actually a bit more teals, so blues, because if I do it like that, it's just a bit too warm for me. I just, you know, wanted to go like that. So yeah, that's the difference there. We just go add gradient halation, which just does a lot to the image, and the Dehancer. So this one is a bit more different because I still did use the Ektachrome and around 50 on the color boost, and film compression was, you know, as you can see here, not quite to the extremes, but there is film compression going on, and I do like that. Film roll off. I did add a bit more contrast here. As you can see, it does a lot. And the difference here was I actually used the Fujifilm print film and not Kodak print film, because there's a difference. I mean, even if I cool it down, there's a difference. So I did like the Fujifilm a lot better. I didn't change the target white. I thought it looked good enough. And now as I see it, I could maybe cool it down a little bit. I did pull the exposure up. Maybe we can pull it there. The never-ending story of not having the perfect clip. A bit more contrast was needed. Color density. Ektachrome I think is dense and saturated, so just a little less density or like little less saturation does a lot for Ektachrome, in my opinion. So this was the end look, which I did really enjoy. I really like this. Let's get to the next clip. This one's also a pretty cool clip. I did have trouble with this because I was like, okay, do I want to go like Vision 3 or Ektachrome? And I did one with Ektachrome at the end. CSD out of the camera like this, added a bit more bit HDR stuff, and if you look at the vector scope, I did add some white balance stuff, so it was a bit too cool, but I did wanted to, I wanted to do the warmth in the film print and not a lot in the white balance here. Color does a little bit, but the skin tones get a bit more warmer, as you can see there. Grain and halation does a lot, amazing. And then Dehancer. So what's happening here, you might ask? Ektachrome's happening. Same thing with the color boost, this time at the 40, because if we like push it, it pushes a lot, so I'm just gonna leave it at 40 there. Film compression again, giving me that beautiful highlight roll off there. Expand, I didn't do any contrast adjustments for the film, for the negative, and I did do some contrast for the print film. Like I said, I did warm it in the print film. Exposure, pulled it down just a little bit, and pulling exposure down just give a bit more contrast, but I still needed to add some extra contrast there, so contrast there. Color density, a bit more dense colors, which I do love, and a bit less saturated colors there. That's what I love too. So first of all, with the results, I'm really happy with the image quality. I love the grain, I love the halation, I really do love the image quality of it. And also I'd like to thank the model Finya in this video too, for being my victim in that video, and I put her socials down below too, so you can show her some love too. What I like, Dehancer is good. Dehancer is really good. I think the image quality you're getting out of it is awesome. Now, I've never shot with motion picture film. I've shot stills film, but I've never shot motion picture film. Do I have the money to shoot motion picture film? Hell no. So I guess that's kind of a judgment thing. Like, I can't say it looks exactly like film, because I can only say what I've seen from films and stills and stuff that I've seen, and I think it looks good. I mean, even if it's not 100% authentic, the fact is it looks good. It looks amazing, and just for that, I think it's pretty good. Grain is amazing. Halation is really nice. Bloom is really nice. Overscan and those textures and stuff, real nice stuff. So nothing on that. As far as the film profiles go, I don't plan to use every film profile in there. I don't know if they're all good. I can honestly not say that. But what I've used, Fuji was good. Eterna, Ektachrome was beautiful. Vision 3 was beautiful. So those are the stuff that I'm interested in. Maybe a black and white thing, I might use it at some point. But those are the film profiles that I'm really interested in. The other ones doesn't really concern me, although I'm still going to try them. But like I said, it doesn't super concern me. But what I've tried is really beautiful. What I didn't like, honestly, there's one thing I don't like about this thing, and it's the user interface. As someone with a design background, this is really important to me, because I think it's complicated. I cannot reach what I want with just 1-2 clicks. I have to look for it. My recommendation to Dehancer, if Dehancer watches this video, every film stock setting in one drop-down menu, and then every film print setting in one drop-down menu. Like, put those film compression and those contrast stuff in one drop-down with the film stock into like negative, and then do one with print, and then there's the print film stock and the the light head and stuff like that, and then do another drop down menu with film effects like grain, bloom, halation, and all that stuff. So it's just, so I can understand what I'm looking at, because I cannot, I got used to it now. I've been using it for like 3 weeks or something like that, so I got used to it. But I think it needs to get better. Price is a mixed bag. I think $450 for what you're getting, or $499 or $449 lifetime access for what you're getting. That price is good. I'm not gonna say it's not expensive. It is expensive, and I don't think I would have been able to buy it without them giving to me. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't buy it. I would have bought it in the future, but I would have bought it because it actually is a good product. Like, if that matters to you, I'm giving it a thumbs up. Really. And hey, if you want to try it out, there's a free trial there, which I definitely think you should try before buying it, before deciding anything. And if you decide to buy, I have a 10% discount code, and that is really good, because it's 10%. At the end of the day, amazing grain, amazing halation, amazing bloom, amazing film profiles. UI could get better, and as always, if you've been liking the stuff that you've been seeing from me, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, like, and stuff like that. You know, that really does help. I've learned about that now. It really does help. And don't forget to check the video with Finya out and show her some love with her Insta and socials right down below. And you can help me with my Patreon page so I can get an FX30. Yeah. Anyways, here's Wonderwall.
Patiently waiting on my dreams to come true.